Hey, what's up? All right, my name is Whoa, hey, stay there. Whoa, my name. All right, is Allende Jawed. I'm a vegan chef. I'm an actor. I live in New York City, and here's a little bit about me. Let's see. Where's my keep my list here to keep me on track? Okay, so I've been an executive chef at the Jivamukti Cafe, which is a vegan cafe in Union Square, for the past 2 years. I recently resigned. Started a blog called IEatgrass.com. That's IEatgrass.com, which is a lifestyle website. Basically, it's through the lens of a vegan like myself. Recipes and tips and all sorts of good stuff happen over there. Let's see. I'm from Tacoma, Washington. Small town, about 30 minutes south of Seattle, Washington. My parents moved there. I don't think they even really know why or how they ended up staying there for so long, but they did. And it was there that they decided to raise vegan children, homeschool them, yoga, all that stuff. We had a garden. My parents used to mill their own flour. My mom used to make everything at home, so the whole local, vegan, sustainable, green, blah, blah, blah. All that we were doing when it was just weird. And pretty much. But, you know, my parents were, bless them, they were very forward-thinking. And, yeah, like I said, had all these ideas long before it became very popular. So the family business kind of grew out of that, the way we ate at home. My mother one day said, hey guys, let's put out a sandwich. And it started this sandwich company. And during the time, it was like the late 80s and the early 90s, my neighborhood, like most neighborhoods, was infested with crack and gangs. And my mother wanted a way to keep me and my two older sisters occupied, so we didn't have time to be out in the streets and, getting shot or whatever. So my parents, being entrepreneurs, they bought this old restaurant and basically converted it into a commercial kitchen, and the sandwich company was born. When I was 13, I started working there. I was making potato salad and making sandwiches, and we'd wrap them and weigh them and stuff. And so this sandwich company eventually, it's called Hillside Quickies, and eventually grew to a very large distribution network. We had like a 60-mile radius and like 30-some stores we would deliver to. I started going on the road with my mother when I was 13, and eventually took over the sandwich route, when I was 16. Up until about 20. And during that 4-year span, I was like, man, I'm selling all these sandwiches and I'm getting new accounts, and like everybody's, oh, I love the food, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, you know what, Mom, I think we should have a cafe or a restaurant or something. She said, well, that's a great idea. Why don't you go do that? And it happened just like that. And later, by the end of that week, I found this place that was right on the corner, 41st in Brooklyn, in Seattle, and the University District. And the owners at the time, I think, were on the run from the mob, because ended up buying the place for like, I don't know, pennies on the dollar. And that became my restaurant. I was there every day and learned pretty much everything I know about how to run a restaurant by that on-the-job training, showing up every day and just figuring it out, just figuring it out and sticking to it. So 5 years later, became a very successful business, and I was like, I'm done. I have done this. I saw, and I conquered, and then I moved to New York. And to become an artiste, well, I was not to become an artist. I was always doing stuff on the side, but then I decided I wanted to pursue it full time. Came here, did a couple of independent films, also make music. I went on tour a couple of times, 2.5 times around the country. Awesome, great experience. Which kind of brings me to the show ideas, right? So one show idea is a traveling cooking show. It's called IEG America. I Eat Grass, America, where I go to these historically carnivorous small towns. Let's say, like, I don't know, Hershey, Pennsylvania, and we find a family and say, okay, look, I'm going to show you how to make your Sunday dinner with no meat, super healthy, you know, organic food, and show people that it's possible to incorporate, you know, a meat alternative or a meatless meal into their routine, like once a week. Give them some nutritional guidelines, all sorts of things like that. So you get the character of the town, you get the character of the people in the town, you get this guy, and you get a meatless meal. All right? Bang, that's number one. All right, number dos would be a docu-series of sorts on the family business in Seattle in the Northwest. The sandwich company is still there, my cafe is still there, and there are 3 other restaurants. There's 1 other cafe and 2 other restaurants, different concepts, which makes for a very crazy little microcosm of energy. And there's tons of people who share, who, you know, have stories, who come there and eat, and, you know, the staff and everything. So that's also a really interesting story, and a really interesting, lots of different personalities to follow there. So, you know, you could have an episode in a restaurant, you could have an episode planning the new restaurant, you could have all sorts of things. So let's see, the third one would be starting a new restaurant in a new city. Maybe this is all one show. I don't know. This is what I got. So you let me know what you think, and we take it from there. Cool? Cool. Good talk.